I thank you for coming back to the table. We're talking about how to build and protect your brand as a business owner. Here with us is the owner of the Triple OG brand, Keith Lotto Smith. He ran into some trouble many years ago after a huge corporation over the logo of his popular clothing line smoothed it all out. Business is thriving, and he learned some valuable lessons that he shares with other business owners. Joining the conversation now is Rosezena Pierce. She is a business expert and trademark attorney who helps hundreds of business owners protect their name and says a trademark is just a must, right?
It is.
Good to have you here. Let's talk about, I know you were listening to Lotto's story and situation. I have to imagine it's something you've heard many times before, right?
Many times before, yes. I have been practicing for 12 years now. We actually have over 5,600 brands filed to date. Mm-hmm. And, our motto is, we always ask clients, will you build a house on land you don't own?
Can't do that. You can't do it. It's not even up for discussion.
Yeah, because somebody will come and tear that house down because if they're the landowner. So you got to think about that when you're building your business or your brand. You want to make sure that you secure the foundation first before you begin to build on it, because, in Lotto's situation, he was, blessed where he was able to pivot. Yeah. But most times, under the law, if you are infringing on someone's trademark, they can require that you turn over your product packaging and your marketing material so that it can be destroyed. So imagine, some small business owners, they take out their 401k just to invest in their product packaging and marketing material. And if they get a threatening cease and desist letter like that, it may be a situation where they have to turn all of that stuff over for destruction.
Understood. And that's heartbreaking if you poured everything into it. So help us understand this without going too deep inside the weeds, because I know you're a brilliant attorney, but just in layman's terms for the new business owners who are trying to figure this out, how much of it is a trademark violation versus the perception, right? Like Lotto kind of touched on, people might think your stuff looks like something when that's not when you intended. Yeah,
well, so you got to be careful because, certain trademarks can coexist in the marketplace. That's why we have trademarks like, Dove Chocolate versus Dove Soap, Mac Makeup, Mac Computer, Delta Airline, Delta Faucet, Pandora Jewelry, Pandora Music. But sometimes under the law, there's an exception to the rule when you have a household brand name. And if you have a brand that calls to question or make the public believe it's a perception, that brand has the right to say that it can be a false designation of sponsorship.
No matter how big or how small, in Lotto's case, you are. It's two fellas, pressing some T-shirts to something even, bigger, right? And Lotto, I want to bring you into this conversation. Sure. How much of it is this idea of trademarking an idea? Because you can't really trademark the idea, right? So what is it? How do you turn your idea into something that you can trademark? And I want to hear from both of you on this.
Well, a trademark is, so one thing I always tell entrepreneurs, an educated entrepreneur can be a successful one, right? Because we can't protect the idea that's within our head under the law of intellectual property. It has to kind of be fixed in some type of tangible medium, right? But a trademark, what it is 4 different types. We have a name, we have a logo, we have a slogan, and not a lot of people know this, Portia, but you can also trademark a sound. So like, you got mail. That's actually an actual trademark. As long as you take a sound and connect it to a product or a service, you can trademark. There's probably about 60 sound trademarks that's registered with the USPTO.
And I don't want to get in trademark trouble, but so a sound, if you use it too many times, then you can catch some heat.
Yeah,
right?
Possibly,
gotcha.
Yeah.
How many trademarks, if you don't mind sharing, or how did you figure out what you needed to trademark by category, so to speak? Because this is interesting.
We were just directed, you know what I mean? He walked us through the whole process. We had to clear it like 2-3 different ways. Like you can't say OOOG, OOOG as Triple OG without me. You know what I mean? So it's like the way that we set it up, and then the stylized version. There are several different methods, so you're not covering it one way. You had to cover it 2 or 3 different ways.
Wow, good point. And how many times do you both hear folks say, it's too expensive? But you say it's much more expensive trying to fend off attorneys, right?
Right. I mean, it's costly, right? But you have to protect it. If you don't protect it, I know somebody who didn't protect theirs. They took a break in their business for about 6 months. In that 6 months, somebody else took their name and ran with their business and all of their clients, and they couldn't do anything about it.
And
well, I
that's what
would say, so under the law, there is, where you have first usage, right? So in different regions and different countries, right, you have first use. In some regions, you have first to file. Like different countries, but in the U.S., we are first use, right? So if you are one that had used your business first, like in the case of your friend, and they can prove first usage, right, you have some rights there. But now it's 10 times more expensive to prove that you were the first user, because now the burden of proof is on you. So, so if someone filed your trademark and you were using it first, under the USPTO, you can file an opposition to their trademark.
Meaning, so let's say you were using it first on social media. That's what you would have to demonstrate? Like, how do you prove who's first without a timestamp, right?
Let's say if you're using it first in commercial use, right? So you attached it to a product or a service, because we have these type of cases where clients have to hire us because most of the time it's people that know them who have seen them using their brands and know they're not protected, so then they'll go file their brand name as a trademark. And so, but now, what, was probably could have been like a $1,500, $2,000 issue just to get your application on file, that's now going to be a $25,000
or something that's put you into complete bankruptcy, right?
Yeah.
Tough talks, but good information. When we return, we're going to play a little game, plus Rosezena shares some more tips on how to build a brand the right way, and Lotto shares his final thoughts for business owners as well. Stay with us. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I really want to thank you for season 3 of Portia. It's because of loyal viewers like you that we keep getting to share this daily dose of positivity across the country. So just a reminder, I still need you to like, comment, and subscribe, and go ahead and tell your friends. You can catch us now in Orlando, in San Francisco, in Atlanta, and all across the country on Fox Soul. Tell your friends. We'll see you soon on Portia.